MetaMask, Phantom, and PancakeSwap users were targeted in a crypto phishing scam with at least $500,000 stolen. So this is according to Checkpoint Research. In the past few days, there have been multiple events where hundreds of wallets had their funds stolen while trying to download and install wallets or change their currencies. So this is another crypto scam. We see a lot of them in the space. Now, this was done with Google ads. And David, I know you shared a screenshot of how this scam took place. So why don't you talk us through it? It is a little bit comical, but unfortunately, people get caught by these often.
So actually, I mean, after I was laughing at this, one of our researchers, George, pointed out that it's not quite as comical as it might seem at first. So to many of us, we're going to immediately spot what's going on here that is fishy. So this is a website that is asking you to input your MetaMask seed phrase. And for those who don't know, a seed phrase is a long string of words that is designed for recovering a wallet. It is in some ways equivalent to a private key for a Bitcoin wallet or something like that. Now, the easy takeaway here is never put your seed phrase for a wallet or your private keys for a Bitcoin wallet into a website, because that is almost always going to be somebody trying to harvest that. Now, the finer point here is that screenshot does look a little bit like the recovery screen from MetaMask itself. But the key distinction is this is a website. MetaMask is an application in your browser. It is the word is eluding me now. What is it when you have a little thing up in the top corner?
I want to say it's an extension. An extension. There we go.
Extension. Yeah. So be very cautious about any website. Not even cautious. No website will ever ask you for your seed phrase or your private key that is legitimate. And nobody on Discord. We've had some funny Discord thefts recently. Nobody from customer support for Bitcoin is going to ask you for your private key. Christy, you're the sort of Ethereum and security expert, I think, among the three of us. What is your take on this scam? Is it good, or is it clever? Or
I don't think it's good, David. You can't call it good.
Is it clever? Can you admire it from a sort of Bond villain perspective?
Yeah, it's a tale as old as time, honestly, when it comes to phishing emails. One of the first things to check always is also, as you've highlighted in your image, the poor spelling in the URL. It's MetaMask. And
yes,
and I think I think that the www there's a 4V. I mean, it's a mess of it's an absolute.
Yeah, we
mess
don't have a
of
Zoom,
URL.
I don't think, but
yeah, it's
they're
not
all
great.
Misspelled.
And that's usually a tip-off. Bad spelling is often a tip-off in any number of scams. But here's a trick that I've been using and I've been sharing with a lot of people that I speak to when it comes to security is if you have, let's say, a MetaMask, as you say, there's an extension to go through. Always go through your own extension. If you have a website that you're using, like a banking site or something, bookmark the right site. Bookmark it for yourself, and then only ever go through your bookmark. Never go through an email. Never click on a link in an email, even if it's like, oh, that is my bank or that is my whatever site I tend to go to, and they've sent me an email. Go and do something. Go directly to the site on your own. Don't go through your email. Go through it through a trusted link that you have set up yourself, and have yourself like a whole bookmark list of sites that you go to that require absolute security. And everything else that you've said. These are absolutely classic run-of-the-mill, unfortunately, scams that new users are falling prey to, and even some old, diehards. They're like, I can't believe I fell for it, but it happens.
Yeah, scammers are really getting more and more clever, David. I think to your point, Christy, you brought up spelling, and there's so often spelling mistakes in a lot of these scams, but sometimes there's not, and they seem very real. And so, yeah, even those diehards, like you said, can fall victim. I do want to add to what you were saying. I want to add a tip in there. In this case, it was a Google ad that people were clicking on. So never click on those ads. Just save your links, make sure you know where you're going, and just do a quick once over before you put your password or any of your own personal information into any site, really, even one that you're familiar with.
Yeah, the Google ad thing is good. And again, to the spelling point, just because it's a funny example, the scam site for Phantom, which is a Solana wallet, was phantom.app with an N instead of phantom.app. So like this is a really important thing to keep an eye on.
I was going to say, Dave, sometimes if I'm not wearing my glasses, I could I would read Phantom as Phantom. Like I can see how people are confused by that. But Christy, I think I cut you off.
No, I was to say substituting zeros for O's or L's for ones. You can't even see them.
Yeah. Oh, and there was another one. Sorry, this is just two. There was one that was a MetaMask, but I think it had like a diacritic, an accent mark over one of the letters. So that's another one to keep an eye out for. They'll go to any lengths. It's weird stuff.
Yeah. So just, especially if you're new to the crypto space, a lot of people are just getting into it now. Just know what you're doing. Take your time. There's no rush. I think often these things happen when you're in a rush. So just take your time and make sure that you know what you're doing.
And I'm sorry, we're running out of... What?
Don't trust, verify.
That's it. That's exactly it.
And I know that we're running a little long here, but one final thing, just because it's worth saying, MetaMask is a software wallet, and so is Phantom. If you have more than a few $100s in there, seriously consider moving it into cold storage. So something like that.